Hi there and welcome back to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes you, Algebra 1. And in this final exercise in Lesson 5 where we are reviewing percents, we're going to answer each part by performing the necessary operations, and we're throwing some word problems into the mix now to make sure we really understand what percents are and how they work. So in part A, we have a pair of pants is discounted by 20% off the original price of $50. How much are the pants now? So we are discounting something. So we should know that discounting means taking 20% off. We're going to be subtracting 20% off of 50. So we're going to try to use one operation for each of these. And just as we did in exercise number 4, we're going to take 20% off of the 100% you would normally pay. And if you subtract 20% from 100%, you're left with 80%. 100% minus 20% leaves you with 80%. So really what you're paying is 80% of the original price. You're not paying the 20% that you're getting off, but you are paying the 80% that's going to be left over after you take the 20% off. Does that make sense? Good. So now if we're paying 80% of $50, how much are the pants now? Well, we're just going to take 50 and we're going to multiply it by 0.8 because that's 80% as a decimal. So just by doing this, we could get the price of the pants now. So let's go ahead and let's do some math right here. 50 times 0.8, 80%, and we're going to get $40. So the pants are now $40. And I'll rewrite that with units. $40 right there is the price of our pants now. All right, so let's take a look at part B. A bank account with $500 earns 2% interest each year. How much money is in the account at the end of 1 year? So we have a bank account with $500. Okay, we started off with 500 and it's earning, so it's gaining 2% interest every year. And it's only going to ask about how much at the end of 1 year, so it's only going to earn that 2% once. So how can we figure this out? The same way we figured out part A, but instead of subtracting that 20%, we're going to be adding 2%. So we have this 100% original amount of $500, and we're going to add to it 2%. So 100% plus 2% is going to give us 102%, which as a decimal is 1.02. So if we multiply 500 times 1.02, we're going to get how much money is in the account after 1 year. So let's go ahead and let's do 500 times 1.02. We'll get $510 would be in the account at the end of 1 year. All right, so let's go on now to part C. And in part C, we have a 180-degree cup of hot chocolate. Ooh, that is hot chocolate. Cools at a rate of 10% per minute. What is the temperature after 1 minute? So again, we only have 1 minute we're dealing with. So we only have to do this 10% one time. And we have an original amount of 180 degrees. And it's cooling, so the temperature is going to be going down. So we're going to take off 10% from our original amount. And our original amount, again, we should know is 100%. So we're taking 100% and we're taking off 10% of that every minute. So we're going to be left over with 90%. So really what we're doing here to get 1 minute, we're going to take 180 and multiply it by 90% as a decimal, which is 0.90 or 0.90. And when we do that in our calculators, we'll do 180 times 0.90 or 0.9. We're going to get 162. So after 1 minute, if it's cooling at a rate of 10% per minute, it's going to be 162 degrees. All right, which brings us to our last part, which says the population of a town increases. Okay, so we're going to be adding to our original amount of 100% always. We're going to be adding 3% each year. And the current population is 35,000. What would be the population after 1 year be? Okay, so we have 100 plus 3% is going to be 103%, which we know as a decimal would be 1.03. And we're going to take that 1.03 and multiply it by our starting population, just as we've been doing with all of our other starting amounts. And when we multiply 35,000 times 1.03, we're going to get 36,050. 36,050 is going to be the population after 1 year. All right, so in parts A, B, C, and D, we basically did the same thing each time. We took our original amount here and we multiply it by the percent increase or decrease using a single decimal number. If we were decreasing in like parts A and C, we had a number that was less than 1. On the other hand, if we were increasing like parts B and D, we had a number greater than 1 that we multiplied by, which made it a larger number. These are going to be ideas that come in quite handy in our next lesson when we start exponential growth and decay using percents. So you have now finished our review on percents, and again, this was a review. So if it was all familiar to you, that's great. And if you learned something new, that's awesome too. So give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to your learning. And now you're ready for our next lesson on exponential growth and decay. Thank you for watching.